defensive categories if they can bring those together.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. It appears that the cat is now out of the bag. Cycle 2 Harbingers of Ruin coming July 9th. We now know all the major systems and gives us kind of a breakdown of what's coming. And I'm so excited that I could finally unseal these lips and talk about it. Now for today's stream on Aaron Action RPG on Twitch, we're going to be playing Diablo 4 PTR Season 5. That is now scratched out, and we're going to be playing Last Epoch so I could discuss these systems with everybody live. So come by the stream later today. So this is what we're going to be discussing: Evade, Nemesis, Harbingers and the Forgotten Knight, Pinnacle Boss, Boss Defenses, new Glyph of Envy, Harbinger Needle, new uniques, and there's actually more in here as well, like the egg. But before we get into the specifics, check out the brand new trailer.
You remind me of him, Traveler. It's that same unwavering hope that led us straight into oblivion. And now, you're part of a war that you don't fully understand. I tried to warn you, to spare you, but his eyes are upon you now. There is no time left, no refuge, no hope. His harbingers are coming.
Now that you've seen the trailer, I hope you're as hyped as I am. We are going to go through the systems in detail. And know that I have already played a majority of these systems with the exception of the Pinnacle Boss, so I'm not going to do as much reading, but I'm going to explain to you my actual feeling in interacting with these systems, starting with the new Evade mechanic. Now, something you want to know right off the bat, this is actually going to be different per character. Some characters kind of do a little D4 jolt, evade. Some characters actually roll. It is actually different per character. And this new mechanic, you actually don't have to use it. If you have a movement skill and you find yourself not actually using evade, you can kind of replace it for something else. You are going to get this at level 1, and its cooldown is going to go down as you level up, which means you'll be able to evade more as your character progresses and gets more powerful. This is going to be default spacebar and default 2 charges of evade. But you're probably wondering, what in the world are you talking about as far as replacing your evade mechanic? And that is right here. We have already come upon new unique items, and I'm going to talk through one of the unique, well, I'll look at both of them. So you've got the flight boots. This is level 13, +1 to evade, increase cooldown recovery speed with evade, increase cooldown recovery speed for Fury Leap, haste after evade, and basically this is just going to make you traverse the campaign extremely fast. It is going to be one of the best leveling uniques, especially with legendary potential into cycle 2. But then you have this right here. Evade is replaced by Summon Crab. Maybe you already have a traversal skill and you are never going to use evade. Well, when you hit evade, now it will summon a crab. You have swiftness, increase armor, increase minion armor, and +6 to all attributes. You can use this at level 23. Now, this is one of the first things I tested, and I want to be clear, subject to change. First thing I did was I put 2 of these on and then spammed evade with 3 charges, thinking that maybe if I had 3 charges of evade and I was wearing 2 of these rings, By hitting evade 3 times, I would have an army of 6 crabs. You know how much I love minions. Unfortunately, no, at least at time of recording, you can only summon 1 crab. I know. I'm hoping that changes in the future. We are now moving on to the Nemesis System. Now, the Nemesis System is in the same vein as exiled mages, which means as you are playing, you come upon an exiled mage. It'll be the exact same thing. As you are playing, you will come upon a fallen warrior. A Harbinger has taken out this warrior, and now they're pissed off, and you can fight them. And there's lots of different things you can do inside of this system. It really is a decently fun fight, and these Nemesis bosses do have different mechanics that you actually have to kind of worry about when you are fighting them, kind of like exiled mages. Now, when you come across this, there's going to be rewards for the fight, and you can click to banish them if you don't like the rewards. You can challenge them to get the rewards, but 9 times out of 10, what you want to do is empower your rewards. Now, when you empower the rewards, basically that means that you will challenge the boss, you'll empower, you'll fight the boss, but you won't kill the boss, it'll flee. And then you can empower again, fight the boss, doesn't give you the rewards, and they flee. And then the final empower, you fight the boss, and you get basically super rewards. The items will have more forging potential, they'll have more affixes, and they will be legendary sometimes. So you can actually create legendary items from the Nemesis system. Okay? But the most important thing about this new interaction, the most exciting thing about this new interaction is the Egg of the Forgotten. This right here is the meat and potatoes. This is what makes the Nemesis system so awesome. And you could see it kind of right here in this little video. You will notice that in one of the clips, there's an egg and it says replace on it. And if you hit replace, you can pull up your stash. You can actually see it right there, and then throw a unique item in it. Now, as long as the unique item does not have legendary potential and does not have Weaver's Will, if you empower the boss and kill the boss, one of 2 things will happen. That unique that you put in will either turn into a legendary with random affixes or add legendary potential. EHG has added a system with the egg to add LP to any unique. Through the Nemesis system and the Egg of the Forgotten. Very nice job. This is one of the things I've been talking about on stream, that like there's still more coming that nobody has any idea about, like adding LP. Now, it doesn't always add LP, and you have to kill the Nemesis boss, right? But you could get a legendary, you could get more LP. It is a very, very cool system. Okay, Harbingers and the Forgotten Knight. Now, this image has been already leaked by Mike on the Friday stream. What is it? Who is it? This is the Forgotten Knight. This is the NPC at the new area where you actually challenge the Pinnacle Boss. And nothing in the video actually still shows where this area is at. So I'm not going to show it because I'd be breaking NDA. But this will be an area that has a waypoint, and you can get to very easily through the end game system to challenge the Pinnacle Boss. Okay, so this is the Forgotten Knight. Now, something else that I think a lot of people are going to be surprised about, I felt like there was no leaks for this. A brand new faction is coming. So you will pick if you want to be COF for Circle of Fortune or Merchant's Guild. And then once you kill your first Harbinger, you will unlock the 3rd faction, which is the Forgotten Knights. And in here, you'll be able to track the Harbingers that you have killed. You will see them right here. There's basically a Harbinger for every monolith timeline. So there is 10 of them. and those Harbingers can actually use boss mechanics. So for example, if you kill, you know, Emperor of Corpses, the Harbinger will pop out, and now you have to kill the Harbinger, and the Harbinger has its own mechanics, and it can use abilities that the Emperor of Corpses will use. And if you die, you got to fight the Emperor of Corpses again to kill the Harbinger and continue to go through it. It is an entirely new system with some absolutely insane rewards. Now, there's no picture here, but we will look at them quick. Glyph of Envy drop chance at tier 4. Nemesis sealed affix. Empower upgrade. Gaze of Oribus bonus corruption. Blessings are lucky. Blessings will roll twice, and you get to pick the higher number. Harbinger unique drop chance. There is some awesome rewards on the Forgotten Knights faction. And they've been teasing about having more factions as well. So I think that this is going to be really, really good. Pinnacle Boss. So in this area with the Forgotten Knight, you could see this little path right here. You run down that path and you come to this portal. This is where you actually challenge the new Pinnacle Boss. And it says it in here. Within the domain, you will face off against the leader of the Harbingers, a servant of Oribus, Aberoth. Aberoth. I think I'm saying it correctly. This is the new Pinnacle Boss. And in the roadmap, it talks about boss expansion. The fact that this boss is a servant of Oribus makes you think that there is obviously going to be an even harder Pinnacle Boss in the future who will likely be Oribus. If this is Oribus's servant, obviously there's a stronger boss coming on later on. The fight will take you through 4 eras, and each presented unique mechanics for empowering Aberoth, and the new abilities further crush your hopes of facing the Void. So that is what it is. They've talked about phases and that this mechanic needs skill. So you have 4 different phases that will be 4 different eras that you would see inside of Last Epoch. And truth be told, even though I have done a lot of testing for these systems, I have never had the chance of fighting the Pinnacle Boss. So I don't know anything about it. I know as much as you do from this right here. So that will be pretty cool. Now, how do you actually fight this new Pinnacle Boss? You have to get keys. And when you fight Harbingers, the first 10 Harbingers you drop will drop you 10 keys. So 10 Harbinger fights, 10 keys, and you could fight the Pinnacle Boss 10 times. After that, after those first 10, when you drop a key, or when you kill a Harbinger, there's a chance at dropping a key to fight the Pinnacle Boss. So that is how it works. Your first 10 are guaranteed, and then you just got to get them as a drop chance. All right. Boss defenses. Now, I don't want to cover this too much because I've already covered this, and Mike has already covered this on my last dev chat video on Friday, which I will link at the end of this video. But ultimately, dynamic damage reduction, DDR, is gone. And this is something that wasn't clearly stated, something you didn't know, that when you were hitting the boss, it would feel really, really good, and then things would super slow down. That's because damage reduction kicks in, and it's not like a visual thing that you would see. Terrible system, hidden in behind the scenes, but it makes you feel very, very weak. That is now gone, and it is replaced by a brand new system. You will see this little diamond right here, whatever you want to call it, little tick boxes. When you fight the boss, its life will go down, bam. And when it hits this tick box, its life is going to be filled with ward. You then beat down the ward that will be consistently going down at a rapid pace, and then you'll fight a more bam. Ward goes down, ward, bam, and then you will kill the boss. Now, obviously, if you do a ton of damage, sometimes it's like tick box, blue line, gone, tick box, blue line, gone, and you can just like ramp through these. I'm telling you, visually, it's going to feel worse because you're not used to this. I've got to kill the boss 4 times, but I'm telling you, the system is 1,000 times better. I normally don't say trust me, But in this, you will get used to it and you will realize how much better it is because you see exactly what you have to do up front and nothing is hidden. It is a much better system. I just think it's marketed not great because some people hear ward and they immediately get defensive. But that's the new system. Okay, new crafting material, the Glyph of Envy. The Glyph of Envy destabilizes an item, unpredictably changing all the properties other than the affix being upgraded. This stability is siphoned to the most recent monolith timeline you entered, greatly increasing its stability. You guys are probably like, what in the world? Okay, ready? Here we go. This one I'm going to read because it's a little more confusing. A very common area of feedback we see is that it can be very slow to progress through monoliths on alt characters. When addressing this feedback, we didn't want players to simply skip monoliths as that can lead to a worse experience, especially for newer players. Alongside tweaks to stability rates, we're also introducing the Glyph of Envy with patch 1.1. This item allows you to greatly accelerate progression through normal timelines you have not completed yet and add a large amount of stability to timelines you have completed. By upgrading an affix using a Glyph of Envy, it will have two effects, one on the item itself and second effect on the most recently accessed timeline. On the item, it will upgrade the selected affix as normal. In addition, every other property of the item will be changed other than the item type. This means a ring will remain a ring, but the three other affixes as well as the subtype of the ring will be randomized to a completely new stat and potentially add sealed affixes. Having destabilized the item, the glyph siphons the lost stability and grants it to your most recent access timeline. The bottom of the forging window will tell you which timeline will receive the stability. So in a nutshell, you take an item, you throw it in, maybe it's got one good affix and the rest of the affixes are crap. You can upgrade that affix, roll the dice, and maybe it'll turn into a good item. But really what this is used for is it's going to take the stability that went down on the item and apply it to the stability of your timeline. So you could just use the Glyph of Envy to build stability to blast through the monolith. It's a pretty interesting idea when it comes to alt characters or just wanting to run through it quickly. All right, what do we got left? Ooh, we've still got the Harbinger Needle and new uniques. Here we go. Harbinger's Needle, small idol. Unique small Orivis idol. Breaks if equipped when you kill a timeline boss above 90 corruption, causing that timeline boss to skill to grant 3 additional Gaze of Oribus. Now, if you don't know what the Gaze of Oribus is, when you kill a boss inside of a timeline, you get bonus corruption when you fight of Shade of Oribus. And if you are wearing this idol, when you kill the boss, it is going to add 3 Gaze of Oribus. Again, another way to build corruption quick. So are you following the logic? A way to build stability quicker and a way to gain corruption quicker. All right. And I hope a lot of people like this. I think that 1% of blasters are going to be like, man, I'm going to be able to clear things even quicker on my S tier meta build, which is true. But for the people that are just trying to play, you know, the normal speed, I think these are going to be good items. All right. Some of the most exciting stuff. New uniques. Patch 1.1 will be introducing 30 new unique items to be found and built around. Most of these will be able to be found throughout Eterra, though a select few can only be found through the new bosses. Today, we're sharing a few examples of the new uniques you'll be able to find on July 9th. All right, let me dump my camera here so nothing is in the way. First item, Event Horizon. This is a level 80 two-handed mace. Oh, this item is insanity. 55% penetration against all resistance with melee. When you use a melee attack and hit at least one enemy, you gain a stack of dilation up to 10. 15% more damage per stack of dilation. 5% less attack and cast speed per stack of dilation. 5% less movement speed per stack of dilation. All stacks of dilation are lost when you use evade. Increased movement speed, 13% more damage to slowed targets. So this is you're ramping up your damage but you're attacking slower and moving slower. And then to break that to move on to the next stack or the next stack of enemies, you can just use evade. Event Horizon. Wall of the Nothing, number 2. This is a level 85 item. These are very high-end uniques, by the way. Level 85. 12% chance to take 0 damage on hit. 76 ward decay threshold. 90 endurance threshold. 70% of endurance threshold added as ward decay threshold. 32 ward per second. This is a ward building item based upon endurance. It's weird to even talk about because like a low life build that builds ward, endurance does nothing. This is a build where you are using ward and endurance simultaneously. Wall of Nothing. Then you have the new Command Scepter. And this is something that I'm very excited about because I love Void Cleave. Void Cleave is now instant and no longer a movement skill, but Void Cleave no longer has a weapon requirement. Ravaging auras created by Void Cleave last an additional 8 seconds and have 40% void penetration, increased damage over time, increased area for all skills, void penetration. I think this is going to be one of the most powerful items in the game. Level 65. And last but not least, level 87 Phase Point. And this is a quiver. It's a dark quiver. 140 dodge rating, 9% increased dodge rating, 40% chance to gain Dust Round on dodge, 45% chance to gain Black Arrow on dodge, +1 void damage per Dust Round when using Black Arrow, 3 to dark quiver. And everybody ready to make some Void Marksman? Ooh. So that is all the news on Cycle 2 coming July 9th. Now, this is the first post, and we have a couple more coming. They used to do Hype Week, but it appears that that is gone. The second post that will be coming soon is the quality of life and other changes. So there is some other things coming to the update as well that I can't discuss yet until they drop this second post. But they say it's coming soon. I don't know. I would guess a couple of days, maybe at the end of this week. And then as we approach patch day, they'll be releasing the full patch notes that will do a full read on Air in Action RPG on Twitch. So again, I will be live tonight talking through a lot of this and doing my best to answer questions that I can. And I'm telling you right now, it is going to be an awesome cycle. If you love Last Epoch, I think you're going to really be happy with what they're doing. And again, now that they've said it, I can say it. 30 new uniques coming. And the uniques that I covered, there's more. There is more. And they are glorious. Please like, share, and subscribe if you think I have earned it. Join the Discord. We have a new Dwarven Realms community event coming up on Friday. We have a Cycle 2 Last Epoch treasure hunt race coming up on July 9th. And we currently have an action RPG giveaway for an Aaron for one of my hats. All you have to do is be in the Discord to get into that giveaway. Please support with Patreon. Tonight is movie night. We're watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I get asked all the time, what's the best way to support? Patreon is it. You get into movie night, game night, VIP lounge, exclusive content. First link in the description. I'm done. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.